Prodigal child, as you already know the vibe. Damn. Hey yo, niggas fuck my camera up. They don't know that I'm gonna fuck them up. They think it's a game of dope. I look blurry right now. I don't like this. I don't know what the fuck is happening, bro. They playing with me today. They is. That's because I was on their ass yesterday. My strings been kicking ass. Boy, I try to tell y'all, when you get good, they hate on you. Try to tell you, boy, I be kicking ass. I be at 3 a.m. when they dumb ass. Maybe because I added 3D printing today. Yeah, my shit running slow. I did. So, it's not my 3D printing. It's my daughter 3D printing. And it was over there collecting dust. They wasn't using it. I already know. Said to myself, I know I'm not going to keep it. Her mother know I'm not going to keep it. I only want to use it because I'm online and it's content. Other than that, I ain't got no use for a 3D printer, bro. That's real talk. I really don't have no use for a 3D printer. I don't like that my lights now. What's up with y'all? Y'all want some bullshit. I told you, motherfucker, touching my shit, fucking my shit up. Man, can't leave the house, boy. I leave the house for one day. Motherfucking shit fucked up. Y'all like my little ass style? I had to get my hand done. I was looking bummy on here. Now it's 20 years young. Oh shit. Damn. I be forgetting. Alright, here we go. No, we don't. Dumbass too stupid. Alright, so first, you know what, we ain't gonna do that on both of them. We only gonna do that we only gonna get one, the energy, and then the other will get reactions from real people in real time. Alright, so for this segment. And I'm trying my best to get it segments and shit like that. This is me working it out in front of y'all. This is a learning progress. This is what we all doing. I'm telling you, we all learning at the same time. If anybody out there want to know how to get it done, go back and watch my streams, because I stream how to put your shit together with no help, and how you go through each and every step to find a new way to present your shit. So I've been going along, reinventing myself, not only just myself, but my podcast. And motherfuckers been hating on me because I've been saying I ain't got time for you, which I don't got time for you. I got a hobby that I'm invested in. I don't give a fuck about nothing else right now. Like, bro, men out there, black man, get you a hobby. I'm telling you, get you a hobby. We used to like fixing cars and bikes and shit like that when we was young. We had hobbies. Now that we older, it seems like we forgotten what the fucking do. Nah, black man, get you a hobby. Get you a hobby, black man. That shit make you happy. You more enjoyable. You pleasant to be around. People like to fuck with you more. Like, bro, blessings and proper blessings. God is up there just waiting for you. I'm telling you. Black man, get a hobby. Enjoy yourself. Find some type of way, some type of time. Even if you gotta get up at the wee hours of the morning. We all get the same 24 like they keep saying. It's what you do with your 24 that matters. And what I do with my 24 is I enjoy that bitch. I don't enjoy it for the money. I don't even try to make money. I try to enjoy the time that I have. That's it. I don't give a shit about nothing else. Everything else is just entertainment. I'm not with it, black man. Alright, but yeah. So first, let's share. We're gonna go with Candace Owens shit. Y'all know I love Candace Owens. I don't give a fuck what nobody think about her. I just fuck, I rock with who she is. She stand on that shit. I stand on it with her. Real for real. That shit 100. I rock with her. And she real. Keep her shit 100. Y'all be thinking she switched up. She ain't never switched up. She grew up. It's a difference. You don't gotta switch up when you grow up.
Yeah, of course, but I want to make sure that we have them listed.
Yeah, but like that's. Can you name one? Because my general perspective is that you don't actually care about this case. You're not following the case.
That's the question. You're just not following it enough.
It seems pretty like if you're going to engage and you're going to say the evidence is overwhelming that Tyler Robinson is guilty. I just think that you should. Like, right. Can you tell me one?
Then let's do the counter. This question. Is fair. Name all 7 since you've been following the case.
Hey, and that's a fucked up thing that he did try to do to Candace. He tried to put Candace in the trick bag. Like, nigga, why you ain't answer the question? She asked you, could you name 1 and you try to get her to name 7. And the fucked up part is that she was willing to take on your challenge and accept it and named all 7. And your bluffing ass still couldn't name 1.
Okay, sure. You name 1.
Yeah, you named all 7.
I'm happy to do that, but can you name 1?
I think he's been charged with murder.
That's actually incorrect.
Okay.
This is the problem with Black man, is that he think, motherfucker, she don't think she know. That's the difference. You talking to a woman that knows. You coming from a position of thinking. Nigga, this is why they say man is flawed. Because man is always thinking. Stop thinking, nigga.
Incredible to witness Andrew Wilson, who paid Candace Owens $300,000 to engage in that debate, have absolutely no familiarity with the topic at hand, namely the Tyler Robinson case, the suspect who's accused of assassinating Charlie Kirk. Now, Candace's detractors have basically brushed that moment off as like, no big deal, no biggie. But it is a big deal because prior to that debate, Andrew Wilson declared that there was overwhelming evidence that Tyler Robinson is guilty. Okay, guilty of what? How can one know what Robinson is guilty of if he doesn't know what he's charged with? Because Robinson wasn't simply charged with murder. He's facing trial for a more severe charge of aggravated murder, which could translate to the death penalty if Robinson is convicted. And as you can imagine, the burden of proof required to convict someone of that charge is rather high, rightfully so. So when Wilson says that there's overwhelming evidence to show that Robinson is guilty, well, he should be able to present that evidence. We should be able to see that evidence. And remember, there can be no reasonable doubt. Now, imagine making that claim, offering Candace Owens $300,000 to debate her with that stance, and then say this at the very beginning of an hours-long debate. Take a look.
Just out of curiosity, are you between 0 to 100? What is the likelihood that you think Tyler Robinson shot Charlie Kirk and killed him?
Based on the evidence right now, I don't know, I'd say 75, 85%.
Oof.
The problem is with him, and the difference with Candace is that Candace coming from a place of knowing. He coming from a place of thinking. Like, you think you know what you're talking about. And she absolutely knows what she's talking about. Like, that's the big difference. You coming from a place of thinking, she coming from a place of knowing. 2 different places.
Look, that was not a great moment for Andrew Wilson. That guy's supposed to be like a amazing debate. Okay, amazing debater. Now, Candace, on the other hand, demonstrated that she's knowledgeable about every nook and cranny of the case, including what I feel is the bare minimum of what Wilson should have known. Take a look.
Now name all 7.
He doesn't even, this is like.
Name all 7.
And I
Can you name all?
And this is the part where I say it was even worse, is because you couldn't name 1, but wanted her to name all 7. You tried to deflect it so bad that you wanted her to name all 7. And then when she named all 7, you tried to tell her that she was wrong. As if you knew. But again, you was thinking. I don't think that's a charge. Nigga, she absolutely know that it's the charge that he's charged with. What are you doing? Being goofy?
7.
I can't.
Then do it.
Sure, you don't have to
do it. No, do it. I'll count them. Go ahead.
You don't
name
have to
them.
put your fingers up.
Okay, hang on. Name them.
Yeah, sure.
Name them.
The first charge is aggravated murder because that's what carries a death sentence in the state of Utah. No,
Next.
that's not. That is literally not murder.
Okay.
And
Next.
so just for people, no, don't. I don't have to do it in a time limit. There's nothing going on. The second charge is the felony discharge of a weapon.
I respect Candace because she didn't let him pull her into a fucking, like, You didn't control it. She controlled the atmosphere. She controlled the vibe. She even controlled how that leg kept jumping. Boy, you were nervous. You were so nervous. It looked like you needed a cigarette. Boy, you need that cigarette, boy. That's why you talking about you had to pee.
The next two charges are for obstruction of justice.
Okay.
The next two charges are for witness tampering. And
what's the specific charges, though?
That is them. Obstruction of justice,
Both of
obstruction
those?
of justice, witness tampering, witness tampering.
Now look, regardless of what you might think about Candace Owens, she's been investigating Charlie Kirk's assassination every single day since it happened. Anyone who follows her show has seen her exclusively present materials that give any rational person the very reasonable doubt that would acquit Tyler Robinson. Remember, he stands accused of killing Charlie Kirk by firing a single shot to the neck with a .30-06 rifle, and he allegedly did so from a roof 142 yards away. So look, we're going to...
Not only that, there's a camera where this nigga got a coffee and a bagel with cream cheese. And he's standing there eating it with the, and he like, bro, y'all blaming the wrong nigga. That ain't him. He was 20 minutes away in a fucking cafe with a bagel and cream cheese. I got more to say it was him.
Show you some of the material that Candace has presented on her show. And luckily, Candace joins us today to walk us through it all. Candace, welcome.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for doing this, especially on such short notice. I was planning on doing this segment totally by myself, but there's just so much, and I know I'm gonna miss things, and you do really know this case like the back of your hand. So I wanna start off by talking about what you covered on your show yesterday, because for me, that was it. At that point, I'm like, I'm gonna talk about this, and I'm gonna give her kudos, because this video footage is very suspicious, and we need answers, and it does cast some doubt on the official narrative surrounding Tyler Robinson and how this assassination allegedly took place. So, you have mentioned on your show repeatedly that less than 4 minutes after Charlie Kirk was shot, Terrell Farnsworth, who runs audio and visual for Turning Point USA, was seen taking down one of the cameras that was like on the set where Charlie was, right? So there's 3 cameras in total, but the one camera behind him, which would capture the back of Charlie's head and the audience viewing him, that's the camera less than 4 minutes after Charlie Kirk was shot. That's the camera that Terrell Farnsworth goes to immediately, takes it down.
Hey, folks out there, I tell you, if they killed them, they'll kill anybody. That was their Lord and Savior. They thought he was Martin Luther King. I swear on my life, go out there and look at his videos of white people comparing Charlie Kirk to Martin Luther King.
And then there's video of that moment, along with some of the context of what you had to say about the video. So I want to just show the audience that, and then we'll go to the new footage that you presented yesterday. Everyone take a look.
So when the footage began going viral, the clip of Terrell taking down that camera in particular, people online, I think, rightfully speculated that there must have been something really important about that back footage behind Charlie's head specifically. And then people were gaslit. We were told, no, there was nothing unique about that camera. There was nothing unique about that footage in particular. Terrell actually grabbed all of the footage, and he did so because people were stealing and people are evil, which we then said our common sense went, that doesn't really make sense, because if he was worried about people stealing, wouldn't he be concerned with the camera? It was just the SD card that he took out. Contrary to what Andrew Colvett is saying, there was something special about that footage behind Charlie's head, and Terrell beelined to it in particular. And he was nervous about that footage in particular because he did not instantly grab all of the SD cards. He grabbed that one, and he did it nervously. Here he is. Here he is. He's taking down the camera altogether. If you're worried about theft, take the whole camera. It's pretty small. It's in your hand. He doesn't do that. He takes it apart and he takes the SD card out. And he looks around. He wants to see who's looking at him. And then he looks down at it and he walks around. And we had wondered, what did Terrell do when he walked around? He hasn't addressed any other camera there, just that one.
Oh, motherfuckers out here stealing, huh? Yeah, she raised a good point. That's a very high price camera. I want the bitch myself. The motherfucker like $600-700. Especially if it was a Canon, that bitch might be $6,000 or something. Like that Canon camera give you TV quality. Picture, bro. There's no way you leaving that camera and just taking some SD card out of that bitch. Especially if you worry about that. You taking the wrong thing. The SD card ain't worth the camera.
So it's definitely strange that he didn't address any other camera except for the one directly behind Charlie Kirk. And you actually reached out to him. You knew who he was because of your time with Turning Point USA. You spoke to him on September 18th to ask about it. What did he tell you?
It was the first thing that made me uncomfortable in this case. He basically was saying a bunch of excuses that didn't make any sense. The first thing he said was, he wanted to secure the footage because he didn't want Erica to see Charlie die in 4K. And I said, Terrell, we all just watched Charlie die. Like, they're not saving her from that inevitability because, that's the whole thing. It was live stream. We all watched this already. It's all over the internet and it's from the front. Why would you grab the back footage if that was your concern? And then he told me that I said, could you just send it to me because I'm not going to show the footage. I just want to see it so I can then defend you on my platform, which was my intention, to say, hey guys, like, this is the reason he did this. Maybe a police officer told him to grab all the footage. I hadn't put the pieces together yet. And he told me, well, I don't know how to send a file that big. And I said, Terrell, you run an audiovisual company. You know how to send big files. Like, you can use WeTransfer, you could use Google. And then he said he was worried that Google was going to hack him. I mean, these are just totally, frankly, bizarre excuses for not showing me the footage. I would have happily gone to him. I would have jumped on a Zoom call. And I was like, hey, you're acting really.
Let me tell you why, Candace. Because they know you're going to tell the truth. They know you're going to bring. See, the thing with Candace is Candace loved old Charlie. Charlie and Candace were supposed to get married. Candace's babies were supposed to be Charlie's. But Charlie married Erica, and she married some Jewish nigga. And now she's been online fighting for a secret love the entire time.
Strange. I told him that. I said, this is all very weird. Like, what would Google hack you for the purpose of then showing the footage that we've all seen? Like, we're all going to see Charlie die again. Like, what kind of a conspiracy is this? And so you fast forward to this preliminary hearing and the testimony of the State Bureau of Investigations. And I find out that actually 8 days prior to him speaking to me, actually on the day that Charlie was assassinated, he sent them Google links. So clearly he wasn't fearful about Google. Clearly he knew how to share a link, as I know he did. So the natural question that I have is, why did he lie to me? Why did he lie to me?
Well, not only that, and this is really important. So he took the SD card out of the camera. You just mentioned that he provided investigators with Google links of the footage. Did he provide
as well
them
as a flash drive, which is what was testified to, which means what happened to the SD cards, right? So the SD cards, if you're saying that you wanted to assist the officers, You just give them the SD cards. They know how to figure out an SD card. You don't have to do anything to help them figure out how to do an SD card. And so if that excuse of I just wanted to secure all the footage was correct, that's what you would have done. But clearly his focus was that back footage, because he even steps over another camera, which would have had a good view of people in the audience. If you thought, hey, maybe someone shot him that was in the audience or Veloci Center, I would have grabbed that camera that was behind him facing the audience and the questioners. He steps over that camera and a big...
He not only stepped over that camera, but did you that camera with that he got shot at, it was cameras. The whole front thing was full of cameras. The whole side was full of cameras. You had that one camera in the back.
And it's an opportunity to grab that SD card at the same time, and he, nervously looks around, grabs that back one, and then walks around to the back of the tent, as you just showed.
And, I don't want it to be lost on our audience, so I want to reiterate. He never provided, and this is based on the testimony that you can hear for yourselves during the preliminary hearing. He never provided the SD card, the original, SD card to the, investigation. He just provided the Google links and a flash drive, which would indicate that there's a possibility of evidence tampering. No? I mean, I'm not saying that he did do that, but that there's a possibility for that.
There's certainly a possibility, and what's also interesting to me is like the FBI.
See, this is the fucked up thing about Candace going on this show right here, is that they don't really like Candace neither. So this is just their opportunity to rub in the face of China Point USA, because they definitely China Point USA. But because Candace has been the most consistent person that has the most knowledge and has been capable of keeping connections with the people in China Point USA, so she's going about the ends and what's going on. That's why she had the conversation.
They control the case, right? So that's the State Bureau of Investigations. The lead investigators on the case are the FBI. They were on the ground that day. I believe he testified. It was about 1:30 by the time they started saying, okay, this is your job, your job, your job. Your job is to secure the surveillance. Why are you not giving them the SD cards? And the only excuse that we have gotten about where those SD cards are came from Andrew Colvett weeks later. He told the public that the SD cards were given to the FBI. That makes entirely no sense. This is not a federal case, this is a state case. The lead investigators are in the state. Who in the FBI has those SD cards, and when were they given those SD cards? Did Terrell take it back to Arizona and then give it to Kash Patel thereafter? We don't know, but these are questions that anybody who is looking at this case should be rationally asking, because Terrell had an opportunity to edit that footage. He did. He just did. And the story that we were told by Andrew Colvett was that he just wanted to secure the footage for the purposes of making sure that nobody stole anything, because people are evil. But actually, I don't think his priority was making sure that things weren't stolen, because he left those other cameras. He left that other SD card as the one that he stepped over and addressed his computer.
Right.
Like, that's not the first thing. And I want to be clear, this is all happening within 10 minutes of Charlie getting hit. Terrell runs up to a ledge, records a selfie video of himself. As Charlie's being carried to the car, he says, Charlie's dead, which is a stunning thing to say. A stunning thing. Nobody knew that Charlie was dead. Charlie wasn't going to make it. He explains.
You know what? I did see a video with right now, he had his back towards like this thing, and he had glasses, and he was talking, he was like, they got Charlie. Charlie's dead. And it was like all these white people running that way. And he was picture of them carrying Charlie to the goddamn car and putting him in it, and them trying to rush off, or whatever the case they was doing. But it was a white man sitting and talking like that.
In a way, I was close to him. I saw how bad it was. I just, assumed he was dead or whatever. Okay, I'll accept that. Your next step is not to call 911, but to jump down and secure the camera behind his head. Are we allowed to acknowledge that that's strange?
I mean, I'm acknowledging it. I do think that's strange. And what's even more strange is the exclusive footage that you presented on your show just yesterday. So you asked, rightfully, like, what happened immediately after he took the SD card out of the camera? And you managed to find footage of what he did immediately after. So that's what we're gonna take a look at next. Everyone take a look at this video.
Here is what Terrell did thereafter, seen for the first time. Terrell is there. He looks around, again, nervously, and he puts the SD card in his pocket, and he zips up. He doesn't run to the other cameras and try to grab the SD card. Instead, what he does is he whips out his phone and he begins texting with someone. And that's what he does. He's texting with someone to say what?
I mean, that's a legitimate question. And think about the
That ain't evidence that A.O. Candace is a bad man, boy. Boy, when she got a motherfucking case, she like Nancy Grace. She the black Nancy Grace. Like, boy, she on easy neck. She got videos, she got expressions. She like, I'm gonna be like, hey, I don't know if you look Candace or not, but you look Candace and nigga, you did look around. I don't know if it was an Eric looking around, but you did look around. Put that up in the pocket, zip up, and start texting somebody. So, every video,
dramatic scene that everyone just witnessed. Less than 4 minutes after Charlie Kirk gets shot, he goes for the camera to take the SD card out. Like, I just feel like most people their mind wouldn't go there. I mean, and I could be wrong. Everyone reacts differently, I guess. But I know I wouldn't react that way. My first thought wouldn't be, I gotta get the SD card out of the camera directly behind Charlie Kirk's head. It's just strange.
Which is the least important footage when you consider the shots. It's the least important footage is going to be that footage because traditionally it always just showed kind of what was at Charlie's feet and a little bit of the audience. It's not a great shot of anything, actually. The other two cameras would be more significant. If that was your instinct to secure the footage, why not do all three at the exact same time? Why this one being prioritized? And I also want to raise the most significant part. He violates the crime scene to do it. He pulls the chair that Charlie, according to him, just died in because he said instantly that Charlie was dead. So he knew it was a crime scene and he drags the chair that Charlie was sitting on that has blood all over it and stands on top of it, stands over the other camera, which has been knocked over, to basically unfasten that camera, to bring it down, take it to the side, doesn't care about all of these expensive cameras that could be stolen.
Candace has sat and watched that footage. Frame by frame, second by second, moment by moment. She tell you that everybody in the video did. She knows that nigga was very bad. I didn't see all this. All I seen was him get a cat. She seen the nigga move the chair and stand on top of it and get the cat. I thought he was tall enough to get the cat, but
Andrew's story is he was worried about people stealing. Well, okay, let's secure the cameras. And he just takes that SD card out and he's constantly looking both ways. Looking both ways as if he is doing something wrong or like he has some sort of a fear. I mean, that's what I see in his body language when I look at that.
Yeah, and also, I mean, I have a huge problem with the fact that he didn't provide the original SD card to the investigators. Like, that's a huge problem. Okay, so let's talk about the crime scene a little bit, because one of the things that I found strange was how quickly the scene was tampered with in a way that would bury potential or possible evidence in order to help indicate and find who actually killed Charlie Kirk. So can you go over some of what you find strange? So there was the whole paving over of that area.
Yes.
What do you know about that?
So what we know, and this is what has been shared by the person who directly put down the pavers. So this is not like, oh, he did an interview, he explained everything. He got a call over the weekend asking him to come in for what was described to him as an emergency paver job that was being done because the FBI and the governor of Utah were requesting it. Now, what we do know about that entire area of that courtyard is it was under FBI control. That came out in the preliminary hearing. They described which zones everybody was in control of. And for whatever reason, our FBI, who should not have been involved in this case at this stage, there's no reason for the FBI to get involved in a state crime. Didn't happen across state lines. They decided, giddy up, we're going down immediately, and we are going to be in control of the courtyard. So what he's saying would make sense. The FBI was in control. And on Saturday, they had a team come in and dig out and remove all of the dirt. And then on Sunday, a separate team came in and put down pavers. And they said it was an emergency. It had to happen. And so he basically testified. He went on a podcast, so it wasn't like a official testimony. And
what they paved over was the shit that actually happened in Charlie. See, some people suspect that the mic blew up and it like fragments went into his throat, so it like blew his whole throat out. Other people say that he got shot by the gun and it blew his neck out. I don't know. Honestly, if you watch the video, kind of do look like an explosion. And then if you see his face, it's not like his head went back like that. His face scrunched up and head went up. And I was like, dang, that's a little different than a gunshot.
Explained, I didn't know, I'd never in my entire career heard of a paver emergency that couldn't wait until the next week. And they had him lay down pavers. And in the process, they moved about 12 inches of soil. They wanted 12 inches of dirt removed and to have pavers put down. Well, now moving that dirt to put down pavers makes sense. You have to remove dirt to put down pavers, but what is the emergency? This is a crime scene. Why would you do this? None of that makes any sense. And so it's another thing where you go, they literally paved over the crime scene, began paving over the crime scene within 72 hours. It's just an absolute nonsense.
I remember you talking about how the authorities also provided Erica Kirk with material that should have been maintained as part of the investigation. Can you just quickly go over that?
Absolutely. And so in any traditional scenario where there is an unsolved crime, even if there is a solved crime, you're going to keep certain things into evidence until you get to the trial, right? That's just, and of course, every one of Charlie's personal belongings is going to be assumed that it needs to go into evidence.
Right.
And you will recall that there was sort of this moment where the public really first saw Erica and she's hanging out of the window and she's holding Charlie's St. Michael necklace, his St. Michael pendant, and it's on a chain. Now, there are some people that say that that chain actually was not the original one he was wearing and it had been switched, but we do know that that is his St. Michael pendant. She then featured it and discussed how he loved this pendant and how she would get him a new pendant fixture every year. That's completely crazy. How would you just give that immediately back to Erica and not see that as evidence. And we found it strange that so many people who were there that day had like a personal story about the pendant that made no sense. Namely Frank Turek. He told a story and his story has shifted somewhat. And he says it's fine. Everyone has different memories. But he says that, when he got to the hospital, they were securing the car. That was another piece of evidence that they got rid of. They towed the car and wanted it cleaned and resold within 72 hours. I mean, the whole thing is just so crazy that you would tow that car in 48 hours that had Charlie in it and could potentially have some evidence. But he tells a story about the pendant, Frank Turek, where he says he went out to the car and first the FBI wouldn't allow him to get his belongings. And then he said, where's Charlie's pendant? Because I know Erica wants it. And the FBI said, no, you can't have it. And he said, no, I demand it for Erica, and they just gave it to him. Like, that's not really a believable story. And I'm sorry that the FBI said, oh, well, if Erica's emotional and looking for it, here you go. None of it really makes any sense.
Okay, I have so many questions. Okay, for our audience members, let them know who Frank Turek is, because they might not be familiar. Like, what is
so Frank Turek is one of about 20 people who claim that they were Charlie's personal pastor. I find that to be very strange as well. He was with Charlie in the days leading up in Arizona. And for some reason, Charlie needed a rabbi, a priest, and a pastor. I kid you not, in the 48 hours leading up. And they all say that it was because he just wanted to strengthen his debate skills, something that Charlie's been doing for 10 years. He just really wanted to work on his debate skills. Anyway, Frank Turek accompanies Charlie to this event, which is obscure to me that he would be doing that. And then he's kind of filming on his phone, says that he's on FaceTime, rather, is what he says, with his grown adult 35-year-old kids in the middle of the day, because they just love Charlie Kirk so much and they want to hear him speak. And mind you, that son that he's referring to, I'm pretty sure, is in the military. And the shot happens and Frank Turek jumps into the back of the car to accompany Charlie to the hospital. And he did a media blitz thereafter and told a lot of stories about what he did in the car, and spoke about this necklace that Charlie was wearing and how it was just sitting on his backpack when he was at the car. And the Fed said to him, oh, there it is. What do you mean, oh, there it is? How did the Feds know that Charlie was wearing a necklace? There it is. Why were they looking for Charlie's necklace? These are all sorts of unanswered questions that we are asking. Like, why were the Feds looking for it? Why were you looking for it? Why did Erica want it? Why couldn't this have gone into evidence first and been returned to her at a later date? And I'm told by police officers the usual process is they take everything and then the Attorney General of the state has to sign off if you want anything personal back. For some reason, they violated all of that for Erica, allegedly. We did see her holding it the very same day. So
what I also don't understand, and there might be a reasonable explanation, you would know better than me because you've done so many of these types of events alongside Charlie. After Charlie is allegedly shot, why is he being transported to the hospital in an SUV as opposed to an ambulance? Like, doesn't Turning Point USA usually have like an ambulance nearby in case something happens?
Every single event that I have done has had an ambulance on the side. This is brand new. I mean, everything that day was brand new. I showed how I even texted, like, Terrell didn't come to the events. Terrell didn't sit to the side of us. All of that started, and I describe it as sort of boiling the frog. Ironically, the one time, the one semester, so to speak, that I did not go on tour with Charlie, everything changed. Then I have him up on a platform. They have him wearing this double mic. They have this camera behind his head. We never had cameras behind our head. You can go back and find the footage. I mean, I have toured with Charlie from 2019 until spring of 2024. We really appreciate how many tour stops I've done with Charlie. And so I was able to immediately look at the situation and go, what is this? What is all of this? Why is Terrell there? My first question. What is Terrell doing here? He does the big events. He's the CEO of the audiovisual company. This is like a chump change event. I've done UVU with Charlie before, literally have done that exact school. You can go find the footage. What are we doing here? And and Terrell said to me on the phone, we were trying something new. He kept saying that we were trying something new. What was new that you were trying? He said we wanted immediate, feedback back to the ops back home so we could cut clips the fastest, like someone's racing to beat Turning Point at cutting these clips. And so it makes me uncomfortable that there were so many admitted by Terrell new fixtures immediately as they got me out of the picture, putting pressure on Charlie regarding Tucker Carlson as well as me following my firing from the Daily Wire. And then a year later, Charlie's dead. That doesn't sit right with me. That just doesn't sit right with me. And again, you can look at every piece of this objectively and go, there's a lot of things that don't make sense. And why do we have Turning Point unwilling to offer information that could help make it make sense?
Yeah, that's the part of this that's so strange to me, Candace, because it's usually the same group.
Nobody gonna snitch on themselves, especially when it's that big of a benefit. You talking billions of dollars. Like, that's not just no fly-by corporation. Like, they built something big off of some bullshit. But there's a lot of money into it. Not only that, it's getting money from Israel. And if you get money from Israel, you gotta push that message.
Of people who were like, oh, there's nothing to see here when it comes to the Epstein files. Usually people who defend Israel's undue influence over our government and the wars that we fight on their behalf. It's always the same group of people who are not only hounding you and just trying to make you out to be crazy, while, by the way, totally ignoring your arguments, never engaging in the substance of what you're saying. They just try to defame you. Okay, it is what it is. But what's strange to me is, don't you want these questions answered? Like, don't you want to get to the bottom of what actually happened that day? Very likely that Tyler Robinson is involved in some way. Is he the only person involved?
And I've been saying that.
You have been saying that. Yes, you have been saying that. Yeah.
Like, I've never said I think he's completely innocent. I say I do not believe he fired a shot and killed Charlie Kirk. So for what is being brought against him, I think he is innocent of. Could he be an accessory to murder? Was he burying clothes and hiding it when taking instruction from his boyfriend? I know he was around campus that day. I was told by a Robinson family member that he did not step foot on campus that day. And so, yeah, I feel like it's not like we're being crazy here. We're asking Turning Point to help assist us. And the most disturbing part of all of this for me is that his wife is not telling the public the truth about so many things that she could easily tell the truth about. And this is not some widow that went home and is averse to publicity. If she was like, I don't care, I'm not getting involved, my focus is my children, and I'm camera shy, so to speak, you'd be like, okay, well, that's just who she is.
Well,
no,
she's
on tours. She's Shabbat and she's Shalom and she's talking to everybody. You can't keep her away. She went right into the office that week and led a call giggling about emojis. How are you out of bed? I'm sorry. Like, are you trying to tell us that it's not reasonable for us to expect you to mourn longer than 72 hours? The world who did not.
My nigga, she was driving it like it was hot right there next to the bar. Like, bro, 72 hours after his husband get killed, you out dropping it like it's hot on stage with sparkles around you. Nah, sis, we ain't going for that.
Know him mourned longer. People who did not like Charlie Kirk mourned longer, and just because it was so traumatizing. I think everyone felt less safe after Charlie got hit. And you watched it. I felt this like suddenly so insecure to go outside. She sits down with Jesse Waters and she says, he's like, were you scared? She's like, no. God's got me. He's like, have you lost sleep? She's like, no. Are you taking any medicine? I don't need any medicine. It's great. It's like, okay, you're Superwoman, I guess, or something. I don't like it. It doesn't feel right to me. And I have a right to form an opinion on Erica based on her public actions.
Well, one of the actions that honestly made me a lot more critical of Erica Kirk came up in the context of your debate with Andrew Wilson, because he opened the debate by reading an alleged text message that Charlie Kirk sent. And just to kind of sum it up, and I'm not reading it verbatim, I want the audience to know that, Charlie Kirk communicated in that alleged text message that he wanted the security to be bolstered because he's worried about someone on the left trying to kill him. Which is strange because that was allegedly a text message that Turning Point USA, it could have only been one person, Erica Kirk, because she's the one with his phone.
That nigga didn't just open the show with a text message. This nigga opened the show with a monologue that he couldn't remember, that he had to read from his phone while his legs shake like a puppy. That's just me and my observation. But hey.
She provided that to Andrew Wilson. Okay, first of all, why are we hearing about this now? Okay,
right.
Why are we hearing about this now? If that text message is real, if it really does exist, wouldn't you want to put that out immediately? Because she has 100% backed the theory that Tyler Robinson was the one who shot and killed Charlie Kirk, and that he was motivated by Charlie Kirk's views on the transgender community, right? That this was motivated by left-wing hatred of Charlie Kirk. Okay, wouldn't you want to release that text message immediately then? She didn't.
Right,
she
proves
waited.
your point.
So there's that. But also, Candace, I recall Erica Kirk saying in an interview that he sent no text messages saying that he feared for his life. Now, that was in the context of people speculating that he was in fear of Israel coming after him. And so she's like, no, I have his phone. He never texted anything about being in fear of getting killed. Okay, but what changed? Because now all of a sudden there's this text message that alleges that he was afraid of someone on the left trying to kill him. I don't know. That inconsistency is really weird to me. And
I tell you what changed. Candace all over the internet telling the truth. And when you got somebody that's telling the truth louder than your lie, it's hard for motherfuckers to believe anything you say. See, I can sit here and tell you all the truth in the world. But the motherfucking nigga that lies is louder than me, pushing his message longer than I am. And ultimately, that message wins. And Candace has been pushing the same message since day one. Something's funny with this case.
shows a little bit of dishonesty that's gonna make people question anything that is gonna be claimed moving forward. But I wanna keep going because there's so much to get to. We're not gonna get to all of it, but I do think this is like the super important stuff. Now there's the 30-06. I'm not a ballistics expert. And so I had no choice but to kind of defer to what the experts were saying. Most experts were saying, you get shot in the neck with a 30-06, there's no way that there isn't an exit wound, okay? There's no way that you don't like blow someone's head off with that. And then you have like a few people who come out and they're like, no, it could happen, totally. I mean, it's totally possible that the bullet wouldn't, there wouldn't be an exit wound. Okay, I don't know. I'm not the expert. I don't know what to believe. Then you have Robert O'Neill. If you're unfamiliar with Robert O'Neill, he's the guy that the Navy SEAL who killed Osama bin Laden. So he's been.
Listen, I mean, you was shot with a rifle. Broadway, you done. That bullet about the size of a fucking pencil. Thick as a fucking it's about as thick as a lighter. Don't you know, like these lighters like this? That motherfucker is about as long as a pencil and about as thick as this, like a whip. Like, bro, that motherfucker blow your fucking head off. Nigga, I'm talking crazy, talking about survive.
He's a bit of a ballistics expert, okay? He's been kind of sounding the alarm about the allegations in the official narrative, and I just want to show the audience a little piece of what he had to say on Piers Morgan.
So where'd that bullet come from? You don't bleed like, and I've shot guys closer than the camera was. And an entry wound doesn't look like that, an exit wound does. Why did his shirt move the way it did? When I've shot people, their shirts didn't move like that. And then the initial reaction was, well, he was obviously wearing body armor and it was deflection. One, no. He wasn't wearing body armor. And two, it doesn't deflect like that off of body armor. Why was his shirt moving from right to left? Why were people being interviewed saying, yeah, they came from my left to right, from his right to left, immediately shut down? And then did they tear the crime scene down immediately?
If you were dismantling this precise rifle, how long would it take you to do it?
A 30-06, well, it's going to take several minutes. I can't even remember I grew up, my first rifle was a 30-06 in Montana, and I can't remember the last time I took it apart. I could take the bolt out, clean that off, but in order...
You know, dealing with Piers Morgan, it's like dealing with a old Tucker Carlson. Like this newfound Tucker Carlson, he's more tolerant. For Piers Morgan, this nigga play like he's stupid all the time. He act like he don't know what he's talking about all the time. And then try to push the narrative that you're not on the right quarterback, you're in the middle. And if the left would stop with this bullshit, then they would be able to get along with the right. No, bitch, nigga. You with the right. Just be honest about it. You're not with the left. You want to pretend like you're with the left, but you're not. You're with the right. You got all the right talking points. Like, you believe all the shit that the right people. Like with that Israel shit and Palestinian shit. My nigga, you kept trying to make it seem like you didn't know that the shit didn't start October the 7th. Like you knew it didn't start October the 7th. But you keep on trying to harp on October the 7th. No, brother, I'm not going for that. What happened October the 6th? What happened October the 5th? What happened October the 4th? The 3rd, the 2nd, and the 1st? Because all that shit that happened that led up to October the 7th, you can't disregard that. And the fact that you try to disregard that and try to make it seem like what they did was so horrific, more than what they doing, and now you trying to say that you got to move Congress, however the fuck you say that shit. Like you wrestling with it morally, that Israel is giving out disproportionate punishment, as if Israel was supposed to go in and kill innocent children and women and men that had absolutely nothing to do with it. And that the Palestinian people should have expected this to happen because Hamas went and did this. Like, why should they expect that they should get collectively punished when everybody else want to separate themselves from the collective punishment of their people? It's fucked up. That's fucked up, bro. And you're not about to sit up here and keep trying to make it seem like Piers Morgan is somebody that anybody should listen to. No. Piers Morgan is a bad influence on young folks. He's a bad influence on the young people of England, especially the young men. because he will tell the young men they shouldn't have feelings. They should chip her up, their lip her. And then this nigga think Winston Churchill was the greatest motherfucking general of all time. This man killed millions of people. How you gonna think that he the greatest of all time? But I digress.
To break it down to the point where you can even walk with a limp, it's going to take a solid 5 minutes, I would guess.
Okay, so I wanted you to comment on what he had to say about dismantling the weapon, because I don't think people are really paying attention to the absurdity of the claim regarding the weapon used and how Tyler Robinson allegedly dismantled it.
Well, so we are to believe that he stuck the weapon into his pants, and it was a part, okay? So he presumably had one part in his backpack and then had the weapon in his pants, but it was disassembled. And then he gets onto the rooftop and takes out a screwdriver, and they don't have footage of this, but they want you to assume that when he ducks down, he then spends time reassembling the rifle. Now, I have done a minimal amount of hunting. Yes, I have shot and killed animals. When you do that, the part that he didn't even get to is the scope, which is needed to look through. You would have to zero the scope, meaning you'd have to fire a bullet to make the scope work again. Like, think of it like as a compass. You have to zero it to make it work again. So he didn't fire a bullet to test. You can't. If you took it apart, the scope would just be completely messed up. A 30-06. I mean, it would decapitate you. There's no other way to say it. Even if you tried to pass the idea that there was some miracle and he had a steel neck, there's actually a YouTuber named Valhalla who was like, "Hey, let's actually pretend he had a steel neck. Let's take it at face value." And he shot from that distance a piece of steel. And it went through. Okay, wow. So even if Charlie had a steel neck, it would have gone through. There are people who have replicated this experiment, said, I cannot get this to happen. I've done this 500 times. I'm not saying one way or the other what happened. I'm just stating that this did not happen. And even Turning Point USA, when they introduced that, they say it was a miracle. Now, the only time that when they first acknowledged that it didn't go through, and this is why I do think that part of the reason they removed that footage was because it was never supposed to see the light of day. And we were supposed to assume that it went through because everyone would have made that assumption. And Terrell showed me the footage.
Okay, okay. Tell us what you saw.
That's how this started. When he called me after on the 18th, when I was like, "You're acting really weird. Like, you're just acting weird. Everything you're saying is weird, Terrell. What is going on? Like, help me help you." The next day he called me on the 19th and he said, "Okay, I'll just show you the footage on FaceTime." And thank goodness someone on my team said, "Candace, just screen record the conversation. You just don't know, just screen record the conversation." And I did. And when I looked at it, I was then even more shocked at the fact that Terrell wouldn't show this footage because there was no gore. It was the cleanest footage. We already saw him get hit by the front. So I'm going, why are you not showing this footage? It didn't go through. There's no blood. Charlie goes down to the side. What is happening here? And immediately after that, my husband gets a phone call from the COO of Turning Point USA. And they're like, "Did Candace record the footage? Did Candace record the footage?" And I learned, and I will say allegedly here, that the reason that they were asking was because the feds were freaking out about the fact that I shared on my show that I had seen the footage, and they were saying, "You need to find out if she recorded it." Okay. And I wouldn't answer because I'm going, why does it matter? One way or the other, why does it actually matter? And this is why it matters, because it proved that it didn't go through. So the next day they like panicked, and they just, on the same day, they panicked and they sent out a tweet. Andrew sends out this tweet and says, "Oh, we just now kind of wanted to announce to the world this miracle happened, and Charlie ate healthy, and the surgeon said it's because he's got strong bones and he eats salad, and I guess he's Popeye the Sailor Man or something." And
he's so strong that the bullet doesn't even like push his body backwards.
Like that is 2,000 pounds of force coming at you. Okay, like didn't blow him backwards. Even if you said it didn't go through, he'd be decapitated by the front. And I do want to say this, Anna, because I think people have forgotten this most crucial element. I did not suspect Turning Point USA at all. So on that day, I was one of the people that was on the phone talking to Andrew Colvett when they were in the hospital. Andrew Colvett told me that Charlie had virtually no neck left, okay? And strangely, that same thing was told to Tucker Carlson, because the only people I spoke to that day were Andrew Colvett and Tucker Carlson. And like, I was like crying on the phone, like, what's going on? All of this stuff.
No neck left. That's kind of like, nigga, believe your whole fucking throat out. Ain't nobody. So if the gun would have decapitated him, and this is just me trying to go logical reason. If the gun would have decapitated him, but it didn't even go out the back, but it blew, but his whole throat is gone. He ain't got no throat left. Something had to blow that out. Something had to blow that out. Like, a bullet goes out. Even if you don't decapitate, it goes through it out. Then they have an empty and exit. You need to know what? Only the part that's exposed is going to be affected. Depending on the C4 or, gun battle they put in my thing, but remember them pages that the Lebanese people read and they got blew up? We went on a couple pages up is where. But let's jump into something else. We don't Candace for an hour. I love Candace for you talk about Candace for an hour. Let's go to these motherfucking power hours in Indiana. Let's see what's been happening in fucking Indiana. I heard it's a blackout, and a blackout. It's been 11 days, and niggas can't get the rights back on. I can't get the rights back on. It's been 11 days. Talk to it. Come on, y'all. We don't need some scrolling that YouTube. I mean, not YouTube. We don't scroll TikTok streets. See what people got to say down there about the Indiana power outage. Y'all see, maybe on TikTok. We talk about Darlene Saturday first.
I cannot believe no one is over here helping Gary.
Thousands of people in Gary, Indiana have been without power since August 11th.
The National Weather Service informed us that Gary faced the strongest winds, which reached 99 miles per hour, equivalent to a Category 2 hurricane.
All the power is out, as far as I know, all across Gary, Indiana.
They're losing food. Homes are getting warmer.
They do not have money, and some of the cards aren't even working. I ran into some ladies that had children, and my heart broke.
My name's Aja, and I'm going on day 7 of having no power in one of Indiana's worst blackouts and one of the highest crime cities in Indiana.
NIPSCO, the company that services 100% of customers in Gary, are now saying that it may be until next Tuesday until many people get power back.
We're on day 9 of no power in Gary, Indiana.
My neighbor across the street, my teacher down two streets down, we have no air in here.
Schools are closed. Families are throwing away spoiled food. People are driving to Illinois just to find ice for insulin.
I am from Gary, Indiana. I was born there, raised there until I was about 8 years old. My family is from there and people still live there. And many people are telling me that they still don't have power. They have trees on top of their homes. One of my cousins sent me this video of a grocery store completely decimated, food spoiled. This is also where the city gave people vouchers to, $150 of vouchers. But this was the only place that they could use the vouchers.
I, for one, have not seen anybody else outside of Gary, Indiana, talk about what's going on in Gary, Indiana. And I don't like it.
Gary, Indiana specifically is also almost 85% Black. That's important.
I think this should be national news, and it's crazy to me that it's not being talked about.
Indiana is still fighting through one of the longest power outages the state has seen in years. And tonight, recovery is finally starting to shift. More than 63,000 people in Gary and surrounding towns have been stuck without electricity for 11 days straight after a brutal storm ripped through the region. It knocked out huge sections of the grid. Families have been cooking outside, sitting in cars for air conditioning, and trying to keep pets safe. Some neighborhoods have been pitch black at night. For over a week, utility crews say the damage was unprecedented. Trees down, lines snapped, poles destroyed. The strain from Indiana's exploding number of data centers hasn't helped. Residents have been posting their day-to-day struggle online, showing life in the dark. But tonight, there's movement. CUMD has now sent more than 60 workers from Illinois to help NIPSCO speed up restoration. Churches are handing out hot meals. The governor announced grants for families. And major organizations, even the Chicago Bears, are stepping in with donations. NIPSCO says full restoration is expected through this week, with Gary and Portage projected to have power back by August 25th at 11:59 p.m. Crews are working round the clock, but thousands are still waiting, dealing with heat, moisture damage, ruined furniture, and housing costs. It's been a long, exhausting stretch for Northwest Indiana, but tonight, the recovery is gaining momentum. Like and follow for more of this crazy.
I don't know, bro.
Like, I just want to show this because this is like really crazy. So these are the neighborhoods. It's no lights, it's no power. But look at this shit. When I cut my lights off, why the fuck? You see that shit?
Damn.
It is pitch
black.
Fucking
Dog.
black.
Damn. Damn.
Like, I just want.
Like, that motherfucker look like, you know, when you be on the back of the highways and there ain't no street lights back there, bitch, and they cut the lights out. That shit look like that. Like, damn. It's dark as hell. Bitch.
As power waterlogged here in Gary, Indiana.
The Simpsons predicts
Tonight, one on.
I live in Gary, Indiana, but it's been over 240,000 people without power. No lights, no Wi-Fi, can't charge your phone. It's women taking cold showers. Everybody refrigerators off. It's restaurants closed. My neighbor's been barbecuing meat every night, and his kids outside playing, having fun. It's fucked in the dark because there's no school. I'm sure y'all been getting that foul smell. I've been smelling in my kitchen though, so I decided to clean the fuck up. I'm washing my refrigerator out, and since it's off, I'm gonna let it air out until the power back on. We've been without power for like 5-6 days now. And who the fuck shot at NIPSCO? And why is somebody going around throwing shit on people? And I know y'all heard about that person that had that damn TV in the McDonald's this morning playing a video game. They said all the liquor stores packed. They say some people got power and some don't. And then they talking about the mayor, but listen, he only one person. So y'all clean the damn trees up yourself. Hopefully the elders safe. And anybody that's on medication or machine still good, and all the kids that got illnesses get well. We've been outside every night, but mom always said make sure the house clean first. Mentally, I'm peaceful. I'm healed, I'm fasting, I'm praying, and I'm appreciative of the things I now realize are privileges. And at night, I relax. It's still no power, but I got boxes on, one sock halfway off. I use my tripod to make a lamp for me while I read a book. I'm finna scroll TikTok and Instagram right now, though. Time for some.
Hey, yo, that shit crazy, bro. At least he ain't out there on bullshit. Niggas could be outside on bullshit. My nigga cleaned this house. What's that? He smelled that funky smell in the kitchen. I know that smell, brother. When the power used to go out up in the city and take them like 3-4 days to come. That meat going bad. Boy, that motherfucker refrigerator get rocked.
Indiana is deep.
Day 12, no power in Gary, Indiana. My neighbor with the generator just came over here and said he was doing a wellness check. He saw on the news that we ain't had no power. So I beat him. Day 12, no power in Gary, Indiana.
Hey everyone, I'm Drika Duncan. Here's some news in about 30 seconds. New tariffs are expected.
I'm gonna tell y'all why those lights went out in Indiana. They're building a massive new AI data center. And when I say massive, I'm talking about 1,000 acres. But that's not the only thing. In Sullivan County, Indiana, the crew that is working on that data center hit a power line that supplies tornado sirens. Now that's just what they're saying, that they made a mistake and hit a power line while they're building that AI center. I wouldn't doubt it if they're taking that power and pushing it towards that AI data center and just calling it a power outage. We all know that those AI centers require something very big, a lot of land and a lot of power. And the fact that they've been without power for 8 or 9 days, what happens if a tornado comes through while those sirens aren't working? And if you notice, they're building these massive AI facilities in rural areas where the land is cheap. A lot of them are being placed in predominantly Black and low-income communities. They don't care about people living in these communities. Those AI centers are profitable. We all remember what happened before. Remember when they ran highways through Black communities? They put up factories, refineries, landfills, not to mention toxic industries around Black communities. And what happened? Those families were left dealing with pollution, sickness, displacement, and reconstruction. And that's exactly what's going to happen when all these AI data centers are built.
Now, she do make a compelling case. You need to say, she's not lying. Them data centers take a lot of power. Elon had a data center where this nigga was polluting the air so bad that the neighborhood, not just the neighborhood, but the 2 towns over, could smell the pollution coming from the data center that man was running.
Y'all, it's
Northwest Indiana tonight, tens of thousands.
Y'all, it's about to go down. My spidey sense is telling me it's about to go down. Like, it's been a week plus power outage in Indiana. I ain't even going to just say Gary, Indiana. In Indiana itself. But the worst part about it is that they ain't even tell us nothing. They ain't tell us nothing. We had to hear from the public, and we the public. I thought we was the United States. If we united, why we don't know about what's going on in Indiana? I know why. Because this ain't one of them planned events. Because a lot of stuff that's going on out here that they tell us about on the news is planned. And they telling us to kind of scare us or whatever. But this right here wasn't planned. It was unexpected. And they don't know what the fuck going on. So they try and get to the bottom of it. And they ain't got enough time to tell us. Here. Y'all, it's a
possibility brother could be right too. They could be planning some bullshit. You never know.
Yep, the lights are about to. Oh fuck! No more lights. Down. Is that it? Oh snap! No lights at the shop.
Better say that little battery power y'all got. Y'all out there recording rain. Ain't like you ain't never seen rain before.
Yep. No lights right now. Oh, there we go. We got the rig coming.
That's what a lot of our problem is we want to catch everything online and put it online. When shit like this happens, y'all can best believe my phone is not going to be recording this shit. I got motherfuckers to call. I need my battery. I don't know about y'all, but you make it do what you do.
Yep.
know if y'all been keeping up what's going on in Gary, Indiana, but these people been without power for about 7 days. 7 days. And a lot of people are reporting that the news, nobody not really speaking about what's going on, the crime, everything. Okay. So I seen this guy who posted a video, and he goes on to say, he said they've been without power for 7 days. He said finally on the 7th day, they've been thugging it out. He went to get a hotel where they had electricity, they had power. Gets to the hotel, a few minutes later, the power goes out at the hotel. Y'all, what is going on? What is going on in Gary, Indiana? Please, somebody share, repost, send help. Send help. 7 days, no power. A lot of people don't have no money to be paying for no hotel like that. Y'all is wrong for that. I'm gonna call y'all babe. This is crazy.
It ain't even about the money of staying in a hotel. It's the fact that how can you live without power for 7 days? Like hospitals and babies need incubators, people on dialysis. Like, how the fuck is y'all doing this shit with no power? Like, and the crazy part is, the fucked up part is that Gary, Indiana, gonna turn into Flint, Michigan. Never heard about them getting the water fixed. We went for damn near years keeping up with Flint, Michigan getting their water fixed. They water never got fixed. To this day, water is still fucked up.
Bye, y'all.
My name's Aja, and I'm still in the dark. I know a lot of people don't like to hear me curse, but things just keep getting worse and worse. We are now under a boil advisory. I was informed by someone at the sanitation district that the longer we don't have power, the less they're going to be able to basically filter and clean the water. So we need to boil everything on the stove with no power.
How we gonna do a food tour in the Midwest and Gary ain't had no power and ain't nobody talking about it? I, for one, have not seen anybody else outside of Gary, Indiana talk.
Draco music.
I'm not gonna let that play. Music playing shit. Fuck up my life. I don't have time for that shit, man. I'm gonna leave this right here 'cause I gotta wake somebody up. Alright, we back with people.
Gary, Indiana been without power for almost 10 days now. That's something no city in this country should lack. Honestly, only reason you ain't hear about it is because most of them people living there is black. Gary, Indiana been without power for almost 10 days now. That's something no city in this country should lack. Honestly, only reason you ain't even hearing about it is because most of the people living there is black. I have gotten an influx of almost 100 inboxes straight saying, Gary, Indiana, cousin, could you bring light to it? Y'all, they are without power and nobody is talking about it.
It's like the I prepared to be so young till the end of time. I realize when I struggled to get out of my dream last night, got on the phone.
What I want to know is the storm knock the power out, or is them building a data center knock the power out? And then the storm happened. That's a good question. That's a good thing to figure out. Like, did the power leak cut out before the storm, or the data center cut the power out? Because it's reports saying that the data center got cut, or the data center got knocked out the power. Well, yeah, it cut the power to a tornado sound. Now, how the fuck you fuck that part up? And beyond me. Like, why the fuck you don't instantly correct that? And beyond me. That's some shit you just can't go without. Like, that shit can't be broke, bro. That shit can't be fucked up. No way possible.
Not ready. I think. Don't put it.
And another thing, I still ain't got no motherfucking power. All that keep leave coming to rehab, we coming to retreat. I still ain't got no motherfucking power. I don't even know which day it is no more. I still ain't got no motherfucking power. Then I'm just thinking, even when the power get cut back on, we still ain't got no motherfucking food. Like, I don't know. It just seems like it's dying down because of more people getting power. Bitch, I still ain't got no power. I just walked from the store to charge my phone. They got power. How the fuck the gas station got power and I ain't got no power? We literally 15, not even a whole 15 minutes away from each other. Why I ain't got no power? I don't remember. I think it's day 11 or 12. I'm tired of counting. I'm tired of counting days. I ain't gonna lie. I still ain't got no goddamn power. I still gotta walk to go charge my motherfucking phone because I still ain't got no power.
Now I especially they charging niggas who charge the
I still ain't got no motherfucking power.
That shit should be free. It's gonna go bad if we can give it away. Let that shit be free, buddy.
Yeah! Let's go!
Okay, oh, you got power back on.
Let's go! Let's go!
Oh, these pumping a bitch. I be pumped.
Let's go!
OG, AOD, you ain't got AOD. It's the simple things that matter, and we know that. So I get you struggling for 10 days with no electric, trying to make sure the house is up, trying to make sure your kids is good, trying to make sure everything is right, and you still gotta get up and go to work every motherfucking day. So this little win for you is awesome. I feel you, black man. Clapping with you. Bro, motherfuckers don't realize it's the little things that count. Like, men like us, we don't give a fuck about big grand gestures. It's the small things that count for us. We'll remember the little things that you did. We'll never remember the big shit. Yeah, that shit don't matter to us.
Let's go! Let's go!
Let's go.
Why am I having to learn from people's personal posts that majority black, I'll say it again, majority black Gary, Indiana is still without power more than a fucking week later? Why is this not on the news? Why the fuck is this not on the national news? No food, no electricity, no air conditioner, no stores open in the area, no medical needs being taken care of. Still 20,000 fucking residents without power, and we're not hearing about it? This would be on the fucking news if this was a goddamn white neighborhood or a white town, what the fuck ever. It would be on the news. NIPSCO said that this caused 370,000 power outages. AP reported more than 300,000 people without power. That's not a oops, the lights flickered. That's not a uh-oh. That is a fucking regional infrastructure fucking crisis. Yes, we know the storm was real. They had direct straight line winds at high speeds, 2 tornadoes, large hail, all the things, we know this. But the storm being real does not erase the question of neglect, and now NIPSCO, or whatever the fuck it is being sued. Of course, they haven't been found liable, so allegedly, they didn't fucking take the money that they got to clear the vegetation and make sure these lines were free of goddamn trees, so look what happened. Yes, the disaster was real. We know that. But the reason I'm so fucking mad is because this is not just because of a goddamn disaster. This is corporate neglect. Fucking failure. And then here we go. Somebody shot at the NIPSCO people coming to scout it out and see what was wrong. I'm sure they did. They said the NIPSCO crew went out there in an unmarked vehicle to scout the area, see what was wrong. Somebody randomly shot at the vehicle. It didn't hit anybody, but of course they had to pause the work they were doing until they finally resumed it. Of course we want you to protect the workers, but using this incident as a reason as to why it's too dangerous to go help them sounds awfully familiar to fucking Katrina. We've all...
Yeah, white lady going off. I ain't even gonna lie to you. That shit do sound awfully familiar. Because ain't nobody shoot at you in Katrina. I remember Katrina. I was a young boy. I remember my mama made us sit down and watch that shit so we could have good value. Like when a storm like this would happen, back in the day, my mother would make all of us sit down and watch the devastation so we can understand the blessings that we got. Real talk.
Already seen a majority black city sit in the fucking dark with no help, no power, no food, no nothing. And yes, I'm comparing this to Katrina. I know it's not the same. I fucking know that. But what is the same is a majority black community begging for help, left in need, and it looks like there's absolutely no urgency to help them. Where is the news coverage? Oh, but you don't forget to push that narrative. It's too dangerous to go help them. Oh! Now we have residents, majority with kids, dealing with this heat and the humidity, no food, having to cook out together outside to be able to cook. Autistic kids, people that don't have their medicine. Why do y'all not give a fuck? Where is the empathy? I don't get it. Where is the empathy? But y'all say you're Christians. You love to say you're a Christian, but there's never empathy for anybody.
Yeah, where all them niggas that was in there going missing? Why the Crusaders ain't down there helping put the lights back on, clear the trees? See, this is why I don't believe none of the shit these niggas be saying, because you niggas just be talking. Like, even the gangsters that be in gangs, like, y'all niggas don't keep up y'all community neither. Y'all just be talking. So, keep on talking.
Else that doesn't look like you. Where are the trucks? Where are the generators? Where are the cooling centers? Where is all the medical help? Where is all the coverage again? Where is the help? Because you cannot tell me if this was a white community sitting in the dark with no resources, there wouldn't be a million goddamn people on the street and this shit on every fucking news channel.
Yeah, there'd be motherfucking charities out there ass trying to give out money, collect money. Boy, you had GoFundMe, GiftFundMe, like, you had everything. And niggas would be donating to that motherfucker like they crazy. But because it's majority black folks, and black folks, I didn't even know Indiana had this many black people in it. I'm so surprised. I thought Indiana was a white state, but God dang, niggas is everywhere.
And the only reason people are starting to finally pay attention is because black residents have to be so goddamn loud on the internet, you can't miss it. I'm so sick of this shit. I'm so fucking sick of it. And don't drop the fucking comments. I don't want to read them on this. There are people in fucking need. No, they didn't do something wrong. No, they didn't need to comply. No. I don't want to hear it. Y'all should be ashamed. Absolutely ashamed. You can't call yourself a Christian or an American. Neither of the two. Why am I having to learn? Why?
It's like a horror movie out here. We've got helicopters everywhere. The roads are parking lots. It's like we're all trying to exit town and there's no gas, no power, nowhere to go. We're stuck. The car is officially off, no gas. It's hot, we've got all the doors open. And Admir's annoyed, so I'm gonna stop updating you guys. He wants me to sit here in hot silence and just burn up and do nothing. It's literally nuts. Okay, so we were able to get an Uber and we are just going to abandon our car and get home and figure it out later. It's like a horror.
So I'm outside and I'm a hot mess. I'm looking at the sky and I can't get out of my mind something I saw on TikTok today. I saw a woman who was in West Virginia, and they were having horrific floodings. I think she was a first responder, but she said something that I can't get out of my mind. She said that they were trying to rescue her mother, who was across the street, and they were on higher ground, and they were trying to go through neighbors' yards and everything to try to get over to her to rescue her. But they couldn't drive over because all the batteries in all the cars in the entire area were all dead, all at once. All the batteries were dead. They weren't underwater, they were in high ground, and none of the neighbors or their cars' batteries worked. And I can't get that out of my mind. What the hell is going on? What are we not being told? Because that, to me, is the single biggest piece of information that sends a shudder. Sends a shudder to my soul. So I'm outside and I'm a hot mess. I'm looking at the sky and I can't get out of my mind something I saw on TikTok today. I saw a woman who was in West Virginia, and they were having horrific floodings. I think she was a first responder, but she said something that I can't get out of my mind. She said that they were trying to rescue her mother, who was across the street, and they were on higher ground, and they were trying to go through neighbors' yards and everything to try to get over to her to rescue her. But they couldn't drive over because all the batteries in all the cars in the entire area were all dead, all at once. All the batteries were dead. They weren't underwater, they were in high ground, and none of the neighbors or their cars' batteries worked. And I can't get that out of my mind. What the hell is going on? What are we not being told? Because that, to me, is the single biggest piece of information. That sends a shudder. Sends a shudder to my soul. So I'm outside and I'm hot.
My bad, people. That girl was talking to me about some shit, and I was paying attention and not screaming. My bad. But I gotta rewatch this video because I didn't hear what she said, and it seemed like she was saying something important.
Hot mess. I'm looking at the sky and I can't get out of my mind something I saw on TikTok today. I saw a woman who was in West Virginia, and they were having horrific floodings. I think she was a first responder, but she said something that I can't get out of my mind. She said that they were trying to rescue her mother, who was across the street, and they were on higher ground, and they were trying to go through neighbors' yards and everything to try to get over to her to rescue her. But they couldn't drive over because all the batteries in all the cars in the entire area were all dead, all at once. All the batteries were dead. They weren't underwater, they were in high ground, and none of the neighbors or their cars' batteries worked. And I can't get that out of my mind. What the hell is going on? What are we not being told? Because that, to me, is the single biggest piece of information that sends a shudder. Sends a shudder to my soul. So,
So she said niggas' car batteries not working. Hey yo, this will teach y'all. Stop buying them new fucking cars. Get you a hoop. The one that they can't fuck with. That bitch that's not computerized. The one that they can't cut off or shut off whenever the fuck they like. Get you a car that is unstealable. Because what's happening right now, it seems as though as the catastrophes are going to get worse. And as the catastrophes get worse, you're gonna need transportation. Good, reliable transportation. So, like I told my mother, get something that you can move a nigga shit with. Because my car, I can promise you, my shit is still, per still. It'll move your motherfucker. Boy, if my car hit your shit, you done. Your shit total. My shit driving away from the scene. After something dent out with a plunger, you can't. So if you smart, I would advise you to stop buying them fiberglass ass cars. Because obviously they can shut them bitches off whenever the fuck they like. They can't shut my car off even if he wanted to. The only person that control that car is me. I'm the only nigga with the key.
This is an urgent warning for anybody living in Gary, Indiana. I know right now you're without power. There's a lot of people desperate. But there's people dressed in all black going around door to door saying they are from the electric company, saying they are there to help you. I would advise you to think twice before opening the door for anybody during this time. This is a warning that not only was by local police, it's been put out by people. There are people that have experienced. Y'all, be safe. And anybody in the world that sees this, feel free to comment and chime in. I know that it's a sensitive topic because somebody did try to assault with the pew-pew, the lineman. And I know that sounds insane the way I got to say that, but I've got to keep strikes off my record here. Pray for the people of Gary, Indiana, and be safe. Have a good one. This is an urgent...
You know, if somebody really did shoot at the electric people, you the dumbest motherfucker in the country. Because why would you shoot at the motherfuckers that's coming and put the lights back on? Like, man, you should ask the niggas if they need water. Can you make them a sandwich or something? See, this is what I say about niggas that conflate fucking, you conflate respect. Like, y'all niggas can respect police officers. Y'all assume that police officers are automatically respectable because of the job that they do. And we give them that leeway. But in all actuality, they don't deserve the respect that they got. They don't. It's a true fact. They don't enforce the laws the right way. Everything is by officer discretion. Nigga can't, like, the moment you get in your car, all of your rights are taken away from you. And people really don't even understand that. At the moment you get in your car, all of your rights are gone. Because the moment the police pull you over, you literally gotta comply. And they try to use that Supreme Court case to say that the Supreme Court said that you gotta listen or get out the car when I say you get out the car. For officer safety, as if me sitting in my vehicle ain't safe from you. See, it's always about the police officer getting back home. But it's never about you getting back home to your family. It's okay for the police to feel like they can take and have carte blanche over the situation and do whatever the fuck they want, and we just have to go along with it. They can say they not gonna have court on the side of the road. You go do that in court. So now I gotta go through the whole motions of getting locked up and going to jail and getting out, paying bail, having to be on my P's and Q's because I'm on bail release and all this other shit. Like, again, police is afforded a respect that they don't deserve. The people that came to cut your lights back on is the ones that you should respect. The people that collect your trash is the ones that you should respect. The people that bring you your mail is the ones that you should respect. They are selfless jobs, but they do that every day. And if they don't do their job, the country don't run smooth. Police don't do their job, and everything be alright. But if the trash man don't pick up the trash, now we got rats all over the place. The power man don't come back, power back on, now we sitting in the dark. The common sense that God gave us, we value. It's like you niggas got the sense God. You ain't got the sense God gave us. And it's true that you people is crazy. Just shoot at the man that came and put your election back on. It's gone. It's just dumb. And I'm not about to sit up here and co-sign that shit and be like, oh, because the black people are, and they got the black stars and the black community. Okay, but the people that came and cut it back on, they the good people. They not the bad ones. The bad ones is the ones that cut it off. Now you gonna shoot at the ones that's coming to put it back on? Oh, if I was them, I would shut this shit down and let y'all niggas sit in the dark too. Tell you to figure it out. That's just, but that's just me being real. I can feel bad for you to be real with you too. Like, real situation, if one of y'all niggas shot at that man, they came to put your electric on, y'all deserve to be in the dark. That's a guaranteed fact. I wouldn't be out there the rest of my life to put nobody lights on and shots ringing out at me. I didn't put you in the dark. That wasn't me. I came to cut the lights back on. But you gonna shoot at me? Nah, you gotta let somebody else do this shit. I ain't gotta put up with it. And if that's the way they carried it, if they got shot at, I mean, like, truly got shot at. I'm not saying if the story is make believe, but if the story is true, if somebody shot at the electrical worker, you deserve to be in the dark, black folks. And we have to accept our responsibility when it comes. If one of us did some dumb shit, we gotta accept that they dumbass fucked up for us. And now it becomes our responsibility to say something about what the fuck they did that was wrong. But you know what's crazy? I don't even think a black person would have did that. A black person ain't that crazy to shoot at a person like that. You know that person is like the mailman is federally protected. I wouldn't fuck with that man. That man is federally protected. He got more protections than the police. He carrying the mail. You better not say nothing to that man. better let that man put the mail in the slot and keep moving, because the moment you say something to him and he call the police, you're going to jail. It ain't even a conversation to be had. I'm just telling you. Anybody that go out here fucking with the mailman or the mail lady, you going to jail, brother. First class trip. If you go out here and you fucking with the trash man, you deserve to be put under the jail. I don't mean no harm. I'm just being serious. That's just like the fucking teachers. Now, the teacher situation is a little different. Because you got some teachers that's there just to collect a paycheck, and then you got some good teachers that really want to teach. But because the children been around teachers that's only there to collect a paycheck, they already get the feeling that you don't give a fuck. And once they get the feeling that you don't give a fuck, now they become, I don't want to have to deal with you, dumb man. And I get that. Nobody should have to deal with stupidity. Why would I? I'm not dealing with that dumb shit. Yeah, like, I'm too old to deal with stupidity. I let somebody else deal with that shit. Somebody else can have that shit. I'm good. All the way. But let's get back into these videos.
Hey y'all, I thought I would give y'all an update. It's day 11, 12, no power. I done lost count. Some of Gary has come back online, but not all of us have power. I came off social media yesterday because y'all, social media is exhausted in this situation. It has become a war of the cities. It has become a war of the races. And it's really, really sad to see the way that people are responding to the situation as a whole. Now, I will say this. It is not only Gary that is without power, but Gary still has the most residents out. And it's highly disproportionate on how many people have gotten their power back as opposed to Gary getting power back. Now, we were hit the hardest, but the racial comments, the name calling, you know, the N-word with the hard R's, the monkeys, that they deserve to die, the city is trash, it can stay that way. Just people came out in droves and you were really able to see what is what. I can't believe that people are on here upset basically because Gary came out and said, hey, look, we are without power. Nobody else was bringing light to this situation. Only reason people know what's happening in Northwest Indiana is because people in Gary came on social media and said, look, we're in the dark. And now people are mad about that because it's not only Gary. Then rep your city. Let them know you in the dark too.
Hey, baby girl, you right. You are absolutely right when you say rep your city. Y'all ain't got to do nothing but speak. Gary, that's the only place you need to worry about. Anybody else telling you that you gotta speak up for their community when your community is going through a tragedy, fuck them. Fuck them till they can't get fucked. Nigga, I don't gotta worry about you, nigga, I gotta worry about me. I put me and mine first before I put yours. And I'm pretty sure other black communities understand that. But to sit up here and tell these black folks that they can't represent or ask for help or bring light to a situation that they in or been in for 2 fucking weeks, a nigga, I ain't trying to hit. Been over. Niggas should have been over. Where the fuck the mayor at? Man, get on your job. Need to get the power company outside. I'm not trying. Now, okay, you got shot at. Well, we got you. Now we're gonna put police escorts on you. Good. Get your dumb ass out there and put that in work on. Cause nigga, even the police station in the dark. We can't have that. Like, we can't have these niggas being able to break out of jail. I ain't going for that. I like my doors to be able to get locked. But that would just be me if I was a police officer. I'd be like, I like my doors to be locked and these niggas engaged. But y'all so fucking stupid that you want to make it seem like they owe you something. These people right here don't owe you nothing. They asking for help. They, like, she's asking for help. She don't gotta help y'all. She fucked up already. Why when she fucked up, she can't speak on it? Why cause she fucked up, she gotta bring light to your situation? In my opinion, I'd be like, fuck your situation. But nah, she didn't even say that. She said she understands. But she threw that butt in there. Gary got the most. I mean, Northwest Indiana got the most people that's predominantly black. And it's sad that it did turn into a race thing. Because it's not a race thing. It's more of a people thing. Because people are without power. But the majority of the people that's without power is predominantly black. And that's fucked up. That you rushing with Chinese white folk lights on and not rushing with the same speed to keep up with the black whites. Why my community any different than theirs? Why they get to get their lights first? Why we can't get our rights at the same time? See, I know it's enough like power trucks out there that you can have 3 different power trucks out there working in 2 different parts of the city. So that's 6 trucks working in different parts of the city, putting on the lights. It's not impossible to do. It's only a 3-man job. Most of the shit is now done by technology at that too. So to sit up here and try to make it seem like, oh, you need a whole crew, a backhoe and all this other shit to pick up the motherfucking trees and replace the power lines back where they belong. And you don't. Y'all niggas can say fuck them trees and cut the motherfucking branches off of them and go ahead and lift the wires up out of them and put them back in the air. But y'all won't even do that. Y'all sitting up here telling them that because it's other people out there prioritize. Like, why are you prioritizing other people over me? Whoa, don't I pay my taxes just like me? I don't want to hear that shit, B. Turn my lights on, G. I don't give a fuck about niggas shooting at you. Niggas shot every day. We live in America. It's the American way. How the fuck you trying to play? Nigga. Turn my lights on, please.
Don't get under people's posts with nasty comments while not saying anything on your own platform about what's going on in your city. Use your platform for what it's for. Making people aware. And so now y'all are mad because people are responding to only Gary when it was only Gary that came out there and said something. Now, when y'all did come out here and say something, it was all negative. Oh, it was when y'all brought more light to Gary, because when you came out here, it was to say, oh, you know, they shot at the lineman. It's not. Let's talk about that for a minute. We don't know what happened in that situation. And we know from past incidents, past practices of people, that seems to be the thing in all these natural disasters where there are predominantly black neighborhoods, the black people shot at somebody. When you ask questions, because there was no police call, That all we see is a NIPSCO truck with bullet holes in it that they say happened in Gary. We don't even know where it happened at. We are not for sure where those bullet holes came from. What we are for sure is the fact that people did not want to work in Gary. The NIPSCO people did not want to work here, despite the fact that we were the ones without the most people without the power and the most people with the most damage. There's a
Now she do raise a good point. You got shot at. You ain't call the police. She had a suspect. Because NIPSCO got shot at. They ain't gonna tell. Somebody is a liar.
class action lawsuit out against NIPSCO for vegetation and not keeping up with things and structural damages. Y'all, it became so exhausting that I had to shut it down yesterday. And I found myself waking up this morning in tears. Like, I don't know if y'all know, like, I have a 20-year-old with autism, and this, oh honey, this is taking a toll on his mental so bad. He's not really a sociable person, so his room is created as his sanctuary. It's got everything that he needs in it. And so he comes out when he wants to talk, when he needs something, when he needs to eat, but he has everything he needs there. That's his personal area. And so for the last 11, 12 days, he's been thrown out of his personal area because even though it's a sanctuary, it doesn't have what he needed. It doesn't have his TV. It doesn't have his games. I'm running out of, my hotspot. I've been trying to do that to kind of like keep him going, but it's dark in there. So he doesn't want to be in there in the dark. So he's forced to be out with us common folks. And he's not liking that too much. And we've seen him.
And I like how she said, something we common folks. Her autistic son think we common folks and he's special. I like how she said that. I appreciate her for seeing her son as special and that we are the common people. Like, her child has been extraordinary, even though he's autistic and he has problems, that she's instilled in him that he's a better person than everybody else because he has a problem. That is a beautiful thing, because he thinks that we are out here just walking about as just common shit, but it's special for you to be able to sit down and be productive and do something. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
A little bit of aggression that we've had to kind of get under control because he's normally not that way. So yeah, I need y'all to put a rush on this. This is ridiculous. There's no way that we should have to wait till the 25th to get power back. And that's Gary as well as Portage. That they are saying it's the 25th. But Maryville, Cherryville, Crown Point, they all have gotten their Chesterton, they've all gotten their power back. And I won't make this a race issue. What I will say is it's an issue that needs to be addressed, because this isn't, it's more to it than just Gary being out of power. It's more to it than that. And open your eyes to a lot of things that's going on in Northwest Indiana.
Yeah, baby. I'm happy that she said that because it's not about race. It's really not. They don't, like, white people might not be able to see that this shit is not about race. But us intelligent black folk, we see that this ain't about race. Y'all white folks is out of power just as much as we is. But these niggas building these data centers fucking up everything. They just fucked up. Like, bro, do you know that these people could have prepared for that storm if they wouldn't have knocked that power out, fixing that, building that data center? And the people didn't know that they were building a data center. This is why I say up under niggas' nose. They are doing shit without us knowing. These niggas is building a data center right up under their nose and fucked up their power. And now they out. That's fucking crazy, bro. It's fucking crazy. Like, it's fucking crazy, bro. I'm sorry, but it's fucking crazy. That's just like in Dearborn, Michigan. They got Jake Lane out there performing his ass off. Talk about the Muslims coming. When y'all niggas building a data center right up the street, gonna fuck everything up for every fucking body in Michigan again. So it'll be another Flint, Michigan catastrophe right there in Dearborn. So if y'all don't open your eyes and see that the data center are the problem, then we all lost. Because it's time for us to stop fighting with each other. It's time for us to start fighting this system. The system is winning because we got us distracted with all of this bullshit, and we ain't doing nothing with ourselves. Bro, I don't care nigga like me. You don't gotta like me. I'm always give you the truth, unfiltered. Because I don't know how to, honestly, I don't know how to talk any other way. Yeah, I could be politically correct and sound like a white person. What does that do for me? Nothing. It don't help me in no way, shape, form, or fashion. Yeah, I can sit up here and be on here calling out everything black folks do wrong. I could. But what would it get me? Nowhere. I don't want to be like that. See, I'm loved in my community, and I like that. I ain't gonna lie. I enjoy not looking behind my back. Like, bro, you know what it's like being able to walk outside at 3 o'clock in the morning and not have to look behind you and worry about somebody gonna rob you or steal something from you or kill you or gonna do something to you. To know how fucking pleasant that is, the feeling. You know how pleasant to have that feeling. It's a beautiful thing. I'm trying to tell you. Grow up. Once you grow up, you start doing things different. This is not a black or white thing. The power outage is a corporation thing. This shit got nothing to do with race. And if you boil it down to race, you fucking miss the point. Is that we all fucked up together. We are all fucked up together. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Their community don't look no better than ours. Their power out just as much as ours. And they can get their shit back before us. But in our actuality, having your shit back first don't make you safer. Your water's still being polluted. Your electric is still being diverted. Stop worrying about each other and let's start worrying about the fucking data centers, bro. Like, that's my whole message I've been on this computer trying to get across. Stop worrying about each other, bro. Like, worry about the fucking data centers. The data centers is what we need to worry about assimilating to the fucking American culture. We don't, like, American culture is black and white. But if we don't fucking stop the data centers, it will be nothing. We will no longer be able to dictate what we find as fashionable or what we like. It will all be algorithms. And I don't know how many of y'all want to live off the algorithm. I refuse to. I'm not going to do it. So I pray that y'all motherfuckers listen and take heed. Take a second, look around your community and ask yourself, is it really the white people or is it the data centers I gotta worry about? Because them people, they don't matter. It's the data center that you gotta worry about. I promise you that. But this has been another stream with your prodigal child, Chemo, the motherfucking hero. And I promise you, niggas that think the lights coming back on is a zero. But that's just me, yo.